you saying you want your lawyer to want to talk? Okay. All right.
But in the end, this wouldn't matter, as when they arrested and processed him, they managed to confiscate his gun. And after analyzing the forensics of the bullet inside of Tiara and Lenier's
all these
fatality.
being criminals and doing it the dumbest way ever.
gun just informed that her daughter, Tiara Harris, was shot in a gang-related incident and is in critical condition.
They just were shooting, and the blood just started dripping from her head, like shooting the mother ambulance. Like I can't even talk right now, bro.
Her boy
shooting
from her head.
and his incredible daughter, Tiara Harris, was shot in a gang-related incident and is in critical condition.
They just were shooting, and the blood just started dripping from her head, like shooting the mother ambulance. Like I can't even talk right now, bro.
Her boyfriend rushed her to the hospital, but sadly, it was already too late. And the worst part, Tiara had nothing to do with the shootout. She was an innocent bystander. A simple mix-up left an innocent, pregnant mother of 2 dead, her children now motherless, and her family absolutely heartbroken. The police now face a grueling investigation. However, with everyone involved supposedly being gang members, catching the killers would prove to be much harder than anything they'd done before. We've been in touch with Yolanda, the mother featured in this video, and are proud to share that half of the video's profits will be donated to the Akron-based charity First Glance Student Center. At 7:29 p.m. on April 14th, Akron Police Department would receive multiple calls reporting dozens of gunshots being fired out of 1492 Rockaway Street. Witnesses would describe what seemed like a gang-related shooting with multiple cars speeding away from the scene, one being a silver 4-door Chevy. Police managed to quickly track down the Chevy, following it as the driver sped across back roads in Akron. However, the Chevy wasn't actually running from the cops. It instead would pull over somewhere that concerned the cops even more: the hospital.
There's someone in the car still.
Hey, hold up. 5807. 5807.
Go ahead and shut the car off. Shut the car off. Shut the car off here. Go ahead and put your hands on top of your head, all right? Nope. Hands on top of your head. Step out. Step out.
Well, do we have someone checking High Street?
All right, man. Here, step back here to the back of the car. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
With the incident being reported as a gang-related shootout, police would assume the man driving the Chevy to be a gang member, meaning he would be very unlikely to talk to them. So instead, they decide to stop him in the back of a patrol car for later interrogation. As this was going on, dozens of additional 911 calls.
So you think he was the reason why?
Yeah, they think he was part. Yeah, or involved with the shooting because it was a gang-related shooting. So they still gonna want him anyway if he.
Would ring in, witnesses would arrive at the Akron Police Department to give their testimonies, and more cars would arrive at the hospital. Most importantly, though, 4 miles away, a young woman would be placed in an ambulance under critical condition with a bullet wound to her head. Turns out all of this would be connected to a large group of reckless shooters. It's at this point that we need to step in. This is one of the most complex and mysterious cases we've ever covered, so we need to break down some details first in order for you to fully understand the case itself and how well the police handled every single step of solving it. At 7:22 p.m., a car arrived at 1492 Rockaway Street carrying a number of people who started hanging out with some friends on the side of the road. This group included Javier Small, Lanier Worthy, and Jonte Smith. Everything seemed fine until 7:29 p.m., a black vehicle reversed into the street carrying Tiara Harris and her boyfriend George. Her boyfriend recognized some of the people on the sidewalk and wanted to back up and say hi to them. At that very moment, on the other end of the street, 3 men emerged from an unrelated vehicle and started firing bullets.
Why they ducking though? Like they getting shot at? Or he ducking because the bullet's behind him?
I think they getting shot at.
Think so?
3 men emerged from an unrelated vehicle and started firing bullets.
Oh yeah.
Look.
No, wait, what? But he shot.
Wait,
This
let me
dude
see
right
if
here.
let me see if
From
the
an
grass
unrelated
get hit.
vehicle and started
right here, he
firing
gonna shoot, he
bullets.
See? It was him. He ducking from
Okay.
his shooter. The other people wasn't. They didn't even know. Oh.
These men were Zaire Saunders, 17-year-old Antonil Whitaker, and Darion Rackley, all affiliated with the gang BBM, a notoriously violent gang active in Akron at the time. There was also the driver of the car, Jeremiah Williams. Their shots scattered the group on the sidewalk, with everyone running for cover. In the panic, Jonte and Javier drew their guns and began to shoot back. Bullets went back and forth, and guns and began to shoot back. Bullets went back and forth, and everyone went into a panic as they realized their lives were at risk and a bullet could strike them at any moment. Seconds later, the dust settled, and the BBM members Zaire, Antonil, and Darion fled the scene. However, a grueling silence would ring throughout the street as Tiara's boyfriend, George, realized Tiara was the sole victim of the shooting. With BBM splitting up and running in different directions, George flooring it to the hospital, and everyone on the sidewalk either heading inside or preparing to head to the hospital
What happened with that
too.
other car?
Huh?
The silver car that's on that block too. What was up with that car? Because it looked like somebody got out of there and was either shooting or I
Which
don't
one?
know. The one that's the car that the
Yeah.
BBM cats got out of. But
They were shooting at the black car. That one.
But then that other silver car that was right across from the black car, somebody hopped out of
Silence
there
would ring
too.
throughout the street.
Maybe those were the people that was just waiting to go inside. They probably was just chilling.
Because I
As
guess her boyfriend was a gang member, I guess.
Tiara's boyfriend, George, realized Tiara was the sole victim of the shooting. With BBM splitting up and running in different directions, George flooring it to the hospital, and everyone on the sidewalk either heading in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The silver car in the beginning.
Yeah. Now watch as they're running.
Yeah.
Somebody
inside
gets out
or
that
preparing
car.
to head to the hospital too, cops would begin the grueling task of figuring out what just happened and who ultimately was the one that fired the killing shot. Now that you understand exactly what happened, we can join the police as they try to figure out what just went down and how to solve the developing mystery. Remember that all the cops have received at this point is a phone call alerting them to the shooting and a description of the silver Chevy they've just pulled a gang member from.
There's another victim that's at we don't know where that victim's going to go. There's a possibility that victim may be deceased.
Yeah, they got shot. Okay. They got
someone's got to go check. The car.
Two of the officers ran over to the front of the hospital and discovered Javier Small and his girlfriend in complete distress.
He can't go with you in that room because she's got to get checked out. Hang tight.
It look like he laughing.
Because she's got to get checked out. Hang tight.
Is he laughing or he tired?
I don't know.
Because she's got to get checked out. Hang tight.
Boy, feeling all kind of emotions.
As it turns out, another girl was also hit in the shooting, that being this man's girlfriend. Luckily, she was only shot in the leg, but he was still extremely distraught and horrified about the whole incident.
Bro, I'm on house arrest. I gotta go. I gotta go to the hospital. Come on, bro. I gotta go to the hospital with my girl, bro.
We'll get you. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. I'll tell you how
I just got in the car. I don't know. I don't know, bro. My girl just got shot, bro. No.
Despite how distraught this guy is,
he's
he was a
distressed.
passenger in the Chevy, which they just found multiple firearms inside of, so police promptly arrested him.
Hey, Palpy, we'll take him over here.
Across town, however, there's someone side of. So police passenger in the Chevy, which they just found multiple firearms inside of. So police promptly arrested him.
Hey, Palpy, we'll take him over here.
Across town, however, there's someone in a much worse position. Tiara Harris, the passenger in the black car.
Can I open that up?
I'm trying to.
Alright. They're saying she's pregnant too.
Okay.
Oh
How
my
pregnant is she?
God.
How far along? 2
weeks pregnant.
Okay. 2 weeks.
Maybe 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Said it's not bad. Said it's not bad.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Ride in the car with her though to the hospital?
Not right now. I'm sorry, man.
Bro, Yanni just got shot. I mean, T just got shot. Bro, just in the car, just driving down the street, and Kenmore driving from over there, and they just was shooting. None of the glass broke, but she wasn't like moving or talking. So I just brought her, and the blood just started dripping from her head, like, bro, we see in the hospital, she's in the ambulance, like, I can't even talk right now, bro.
Tiara was immediately rushed to the local hospital, and her boyfriend George was brought in for questioning. He wasn't a lead suspect, but police did find it odd that he just happened to arrive at the site of a violent shooting right as it all went down. He would claim to be innocent and actually provide a detailed description of everything that went down that night.
You turn off here, so
no, boom, no, I didn't. I came this way, and I said, "What y'all got? Like, what y'all got going on over here?" Like, I'm like basically saying, "Is y'all good?"
Right.
As soon as I said that, somebody from down here got to just shooting a gun that just kept shooting. That's all I know. But I didn't hear nobody or nothing like that.
So you're right there, and then you heard that. How many shots did you hear?
Man, I can't even recall. It was a lot. And then as soon as I
So you were facing this way?
No.
You literally backed all the way on.
Say I'm coming down here in this Rockaway. This would be Rockaway.
Okay.
Down, I backed up.
Oh, so you backed, so the back of your car was facing that way?
And I'm like, is y'all? I'm like, what y'all got going on? Like, I look out just like that.
Like out the window?
Like, as soon as I even it should have been me. Like, you feel me? Because I'm the one that looked straight out the window. Like, are y'all all right? Y'all good? Type stuff.
The cops asked him why he was even there in the first place, to which he just said he knew a couple of people on the street and that he had absolutely no involvement in the shooting. He's claiming that when he peeked out the window, his friends mistook him for the shooter and began to fire bullet after bullet directly at his vehicle.
Wait, what do you mean his friends mistook him for the shooter?
I think they shot at that car. That silver car is the one that actually shot at him.
To which he just said he knew
That's
a couple of people on the street and that he had absolutely...
Watch when they go back to it. Somebody hopped out that car and it looked like they was like they were shooting at that car.
No involvement in the shooting. He's claiming that when he peeked out the window, his friends mistook him for the shooter and began to fire bullet after bullet directly at his vehicle. According to him, it wasn't an accident, but a misunderstanding, making the whole situation even more tragic. With George's statement, they were a little clearer on the whole situation. But they'd made no progress into actually solving the case or tracking down the real perpetrators. That was until they returned to the scene and spoke to a number of witnesses who had watched the entire event take place.
It was 2 African Americans. Where were they running? Young kids. They come from back there across this backyard next door and out the driveway.
They hopped the fence.
He had a face mask on and had a 9mm. And then the other one had a semi-automatic rifle, and they were almost to the corner of the house running this way, and they both jumped the fence. Like when the kid Maroon Hoodie jumped the fence, he dropped the semi-automatic rifle at the driveway.
I was just out back cutting some stuff, and all I heard was just a barrage of bullets, fully auto. It wasn't 3-round burst, 4-round. It was fully auto.
Coming off fast.
Oh yeah, hot and loud and fast. And then I saw 2 guys when I was out back. I could see through the backyards, through the fence. I saw a silhouette of 2 guys running up towards that street, returning single shots as they were running away.
See?
There's casings up here.
Oh, you found something?
Yeah.
I got more.
Okay.
How many did you hear, you think?
I heard it was like 30.
Like where all these cones are at, probably that amount?
30 or 40. But this happened over there all the time.
Where's over there?
Right there, the house right there.
I heard a lot of gunfire, but when I first heard it, I thought it was a backfire because I saw this car sitting over here where all the cones are, and he had his lights on. So I thought he was working on a car and it backfired real bad. Then I saw them loading people into cars to take them to the hospital, and I knew it wasn't.
All these LeBron fans.
Because this has happened so many times before. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Right.
We can't go outside. Nothing.
LeBron from that.
Even with
LeBron from nigga.
He from Akron.
Yeah. Look like they give it up out there.
all this new information, though,
Yeah, it's tough out there. He said that.
the cops
Curry too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
are only slightly closer to figuring out what happened. They were now at least able to confirm that one group of shooters rolled up and started the exchange before another responded, causing a huge exchange of bullets throughout the neighborhood. But they still had two major questions. Who were the shooters, and how was Tiara involved? Well, the cops had just spotted another witness that might be able to answer their questions. A woman who was actually on the street the moment the bullets started flying.
So you don't live here?
I'm not even from here. Oh, I was visiting.
So who owns the house?
Anitra Johnson.
She is? Okay.
She was out to eat when I called her.
Okay. Everyone's okay though, right? The kids?
The kids, yes.
Yeah,
The kids
okay.
are okay. I got them in the back watching TV.
Okay.
There was another girl outside. I think she got shot in her thigh or the leg. I think they took her probably to the hospital.
Okay.
She definitely got hit.
Okay. So what did you see?
I'm sitting outside. To be honest, we all family. So we're all outside prayer wrestling, like act like we hit each other and stuff. Next thing I know, I just heard these gunshots. I'm like, all right, was that a BB gun? Come through shooting.
Yeah.
And it was like, pop, 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 and came through again. So I'm running up, I didn't even know where the gunshots came from. I'm running up, trying to grab the kids. They came through twice.
Okay. Did the house get hit at all?
I mean, I don't even fuck. Is that a bullet hole right here? I don't know. I was really just trying to grab the kids.
And you said, so what? They got out of a car?
They didn't even get out of the car.
Or they just started. They were hanging out.
They was
shooting?
hanging out shooting.
Okay. Did you see how many by chance? Three of them. Okay.
Now it's starting to sound a lot more like a drive-by shooting, notoriously one of the hardest types of crimes to solve, especially if the vehicle was stolen. The cops are starting to lose confidence that they'll ever find Tiara's killer, but then they decide to ask one simple question.
Ma'am, do those cameras work?
I believe so.
Okay.
She's on her way home.
Oh, she is? Okay, perfect.
There were CCTV cameras on the property, and as soon as the homeowner got back, they'd have access to the footage. So in just a few hours, the cops were able to put together just enough footage to understand exactly what happened. Remember, we already know all of this, but for the police, this was huge. Now they had a detailed timeline of the entire incident, including at what time it went down, how many people were involved, and which vehicles the suspects used. This would be very useful in the coming interrogations in terms of verifying their suspects' claims and pressuring them to confess. Police finally had a solid piece of evidence, and right as their case had started to build some substance, their biggest lead yet would...
I wonder if this dude, the first dude, if he got rid of the gun by the time he got to the hospital.
I think he the one that did the shoot.
He the one who stepped out of the
car.
Impala, yeah, the silver.
But he's also the one that drove her to the hospital.
Right.
Or showed up at the hospital.
Bring them to confess. Police finally had a solid piece of evidence, and right as their case had started to build some substance, their biggest lead yet would step out right in front of them.
I have video of them carrying the girl that got shot.
I can put it on an SD card.
Then and that's not the same one that was at
She'll send her a link and then she
was
just upload it from there.
Right after they took off.
Not only had they seen the entire thing go down, but as soon as they heard gunshots, they started recording. They managed to get this clear footage of a man getting into the same vehicle spotted at the shooting just minutes earlier. Now all they needed to do was track down the car using the visible license plate, and they'd have their first lead suspect. But with that said, these kids were no strangers to running from the police, and the officers would begin the hunt to find these evil teens. While all of this was going on, police had another, perhaps more nerve-wracking situation to handle. Tiara had passed away, and her family had no idea.
There's currently not like too many people in the hospital. Let's step over here and see where all these cruises are.
My car okay?
Where's your car at?
I'm right here because I didn't know.
Or this one?
Right here.
Sorry, which one? Okay. What's your daughter's name? You're here for your daughter?
Tiara Harris.
Tiara Harris. Let's say have you stand right here next to the sign. We'll have someone go over and talk to you, okay? Take a deep breath.
Is she okay?
I don't know the names of who they are currently, miss.
Just listen to the cop's tone here. He knows just how bad things are looking for Tiara, and he absolutely doesn't want to break that news to her mother yet, especially when he sees just how emotional she's starting to get. Tiara's autopsy showed a single bullet struck her in the head and remained there. While tragic, this information would allow police to identify the exact bullet type and then gun used to shoot Tiara. If they could find the owner of this gun, they would be able to match it to the bullet, and justice could be served for Tiara and her family.
Hey, come here!
They got a bunch of people showing up.
That's my son and my nephew.
Okay, well, listen, they can't go in. It's going to be you.
Y'all go in the car. Go in the car.
They telling us to wait outside.
I know. I'm going in. Go in my car.
The entire family is in distress, with her mom shaking and doing everything she can to stay strong in front of her kids. It's truly a nightmare situation, and it only got worse from there. At around 8:30 p.m., they were informed that Tiara didn't make it. A bullet to the back of the head had ended her life, sending her family into complete grief and agony. Now, police knew that they absolutely had to catch the people that did this to Tiara, or risk letting down her and her entire family. At this point, police had 6 different suspects on the run, all tied to the shooting, and they would eventually manage to track down and get interrogations with all of them. Their start came in the form of a Facebook post by someone named
They always find them, bro. Always.
Jeremiah Williams, described as a member of the BBM gang. Apparently, the post consisted of him bragging about being at the shooting and escaping without getting caught. Consisted of Williams, described as a member, came in the form of a Facebook post by someone named Jeremiah Williams, described as a member of the BBM gang. Apparently, the post consisted of him bragging about being at the shooting and escaping without getting caught. By using his Facebook profile, they'd find his address and pick him up for interrogation. With Jeremiah also being a supposed gang member, he too would prove to be extremely difficult to break. However, by using expert methods, police would actually get him to break completely, to the point where he actually started to cry.
You want some tissue? Yeah, that's true. How's it going, Jeremiah? Pretty good. Sorry for the wait, man. I'm Detective Smith. This is Detective Davis. Nice to meet you.
So this is a dude who posted something on Facebook that he was there, got away without being caught. Now they interrogate him.
Yeah.
And so the reason why we have you sitting here talking to us is we need you to think back to April. There's an incident that happened on Rockaway. You remember this? This young lady got shot. You remember hearing about that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so during our investigation, your name's been coming up. But do you know about where you were that day, if you can? Or
I was definitely at home.
Apparently, Jeremiah also has an alibi, and even gives multiple names over that'll attest he wasn't on Rockaway that night.
You're at home. Yeah. Where was that, at Amherst?
Amherst. This was right before my mom moved to Louisiana. My best friend, Rob, talked to her sister, the girl that died, her sister, Diane or however you say her name. My best friend, Rob, was like in the kind of little...
Like dating?
Yeah, with her sister. Okay. And it was crazy. We got on Facebook and It was all over Facebook. Her sister had got killed and stuff. And my mom was like, ain't that the girl that came over here?
If you need
That's
the
great.
other day, and we like, no. And my mom was like, ain't that the girl that came over here the other day? And we like, no, that was her little sister.
Has her little sister reached out to you guys or anything?
We haven't talked to her, and I don't talk to her at all for real. But
so you were at your house on Amherst.
Yeah.
Was there anyone with you that day?
My mom.
What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is April.
However, the detectives know this to be untrue. They know he was at the scene from the Facebook post he made. They know he did it, so they want to get a confession, or even better, some information that might help put more people.
Wait, so they saying that he posted a Facebook post saying he was there and he got away without getting caught. But he really did it, so he snitched on himself?
Yeah, but they didn't say nothing about the Facebook post yet. So right now he trying to act like
I know.
He doesn't know that they know.
But I'm saying, how do they know just based off that post? See what I'm saying?
Must have been very, very descriptive.
Probably look.
That's crazy.
People in handcuffs. The thing is, they're initially going to find that a lot harder than they'd hope.
I have to ask, do you recognize this car?
Dude, this was the car that was in that video. That's on Facebook.
So you remember it? Yeah. Have you ever been in this car?
No.
Do you know who drives this car or owns this car?
I don't know him by like name, but I know who he is. His name like Pa or something.
Pa?
That's what they call it.
Do you know? Can you describe him?
That's funny because I don't even really know what he looks like. Like every time I've seen him with a ski mask on.
Okay.
Like I've never seen him outside of a ski mask.
Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Your past. Like, have you ever been?
So this might be one of the 3 dudes that was shooting the semi-automatics.
I think he's one of the BBM guys.
Yeah.
Trouble or anything?
Yeah. I'm actually right now. I got probation.
So like just a weapons possession charge is all you got?
It's like carrying a concealed firearm in a motor vehicle.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Jeremiah is making a conscious attempt to give as little information over as possible while still trying to seem cooperative. He's smart. He doesn't want to completely close himself off, as that'll make him seem guilty, but he also doesn't want to give up any vital information. The cops ask him who was there, where he was sitting in the car, even questions about the guns, but he refuses to speak, and he's starting to seriously frustrate the cops. But all this talk of courts and investigations doesn't seem to be getting them anywhere at all. So instead, they switch gears.